find somebody who is ahead of you and find other way to provide value to them so they want to provide value back. But really, if someone's willing to help you, take the opportunity, let them help you so that you don't have to go through the same struggles as they went through. Which, you should struggle because that's what builds character, and you will go through those no matter what. But sometimes you don't need to get your heart broken.
Welcome to Old Guys Still Rock. Super grateful you gave us a look or a listen. We specifically developed this podcast for friends or soon-to-be friends who are in the 40-plus category. This podcast is a platform to not only have your voices be heard, but also for others who are going through the same thing and know that they too aren't alone. Our topics may be business, topics may be entrepreneurship, our topics may be social, or our topics may be just everyday life. Whatever it is, we hope that you give it a share and leave us a comment. But most of all, if you want your voice to be heard, please leave us a comment on how to get a hold of you so you too can be an old guy that still rocks and help build our community. Until we speak again, stay safe, but most of all, God bless. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be when you're watching this. If this is your first time here, this is the best podcast that you have never seen before in your life. We are Old Guys Still Rock. I am Blair Armstrong. I am a global luxury specialist in the world of residential real estate located in beautiful, beautiful Palm Desert, California, where it's going to be a nice, balmy 78 degrees. Probably going to go hit some golf balls a little bit later. Super excited about that. But enough about me. Currently, the way that I'm looking at our monitor in the middle is a co-host of the show and a good friend of mine for almost 30 years, believe it or not, Brent Wright of Brent Wright Incorporated, a man with many, many hats, which he's cultivated over the long time that I've known him and a little bit before, but from body shops to detail shops, him and his wife just started a wellness center, he's in payroll companies. We've got landlords, and just the list kind of goes on and on and on. Coaching. One of his claim to fames, which we have one of our guests that he's been helping out, which talk about here in a little bit. He's also a great business coach because of his business mindset, and all great, just kind of like, hey, I'm struggling coach. And that's kind of why we were friends. And actually, that's how this podcast started. We had conversations on our rucks, and we would pass ideas off to each other. And we're like, we're not sharing this information. So here we are. But brother, how are you, Mr. Brent Wright? What's going on with you? What's going on in the world of Eugene, Oregon today?
Well, since we are old guys that still rock, we start out with talking about the weather, right? And then we talk about our shopping and all the things in life that we do, and how, what time we eat at 4:30 in the afternoon and all of that. So,
I'm an old man. I'm in old man's land. I'm blue light special, brother. Exactly. 5 o'clock in and out.
Exactly. So it's a balmy 39 degrees and foggy here. So now that we got the old guy stuff out of the way, we got a little bit of young blood in the studio today. In fact, Gerard Morton from Soft Wash Pros and Mirror Exteriors is with us. He's actually coming to you live from April's Wright Wellness Center. He's in the hyperbaric room and utilizing that space. His office is clear on the other side of the county almost. And so he came from our coaching session this morning, did a little business, and now he's in the wellness center using the Wi-Fi and hanging out there. It's a little more comfortable and away from me. So that way we have a better interaction on the screen. So yeah. So
it's amazing how I love technology, man. He could be in the same place, but in a different place at the same time, right?
Exactly. And of course, he's donning our OGSR swag since he's.
It's a great hat. It's super comfortable. Hat. I love collecting hats. Wear them maybe once a week, but you know what? I'll collect them. I love them.
I kind of feel bad, It's just like I might jump out of here. Mine is like it's not in really reaching distance, but you both are wearing them, so. I don't want to steal your spotlight, but you guys look great.
But your hair's looking on point today, dude. Seriously.
It is literally on point.
On point, exactly.
You want to thank my guy, Dennis Olgas, down on El Paseo every 10 days because I can't get it as short as I want it. because my wife likes it about this length. So I have to go in about every 10 days. I kind of feel like I'm a little Jersey Shore for us older guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Gym Tan and Laundry, whatever it is, GTL. Anyways, Gerard, how are you doing, dude? What's going on with you?
I am doing phenomenal. That's kind of like my
Yeah.
default phrase I tell people.
Perfect.
Always something to be grateful for, always something to look forward to. As Brent said, the weather is pretty cold, so I had to do some pre-planning, get the equipment heated so that it doesn't freeze and blow up in the morning, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I can't complain. Life is
That's
good,
good.
and I'm just chugging along.
How long ago did you start your business?
So technically, I started it back in 2022, but it was just
Okay.
a little side thing. I didn't do anything with it. I was working a full-time job. And it was really last November, so like around November 1st of 23 that I actually dove full-time into it, made it my main hustle, and we've been in business pretty much about a year now. So officially, as
What
I like to say, because I wasn't focusing on it.
what was your I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm going to pepper you with this, so don't just kind of get you out there.
Go ahead.
Brent, talk over me, man. So you know how I get on my pedestal and don't go. But so anyway, so you start back in kind of 2022, 2023 is when you decide to go in and burn the bridge and like get after this. What was the motivation behind it? What caught your attention? Like, hey, this is my lane. This is what I want to go after it. And what helped you get to that point? Why window washing, stuff like that?
So great question. So initially, I started the business because I wanted to learn the art of business. I was like,
Okay.
I want to learn to run a business, but I don't want to have to learn how to run a business and learn a new skill because I'm young. I don't have any of these skills. So I thought, but window washing is super easy to learn, takes you 10 hours and a lot of practice. You can pretty much learn over the weekend. So I thought, learn that skill, go and sell it. Um, what made me jump into it full time was I would say there was a couple of people in my life that encouraged me, and for about like a month and a half or so during the holiday season, it was my full-time thing, my full-time job, and I just had a great season last year. I felt like I had a little bit of a buffer, and with some encouragement, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this. I don't know where it's going to take me, and it was first couple months were really hard, especially in the winter here, but we made through, and so far we're progressing quite nicely. So that's kind of the reason why.
Beautiful. Brett, how did you guys get connected?
So a good friend of mine, Brian Ellsworth, owns Fairwood Construction. I met him in BNI. I don't know if you've watched some of these, Gerard, and picked up on. I actually met Blair through BNI,
Yes.
sort of, and or he forced me into BNI. So it's Blair's fault. I know Brian. It's Brian's fault. I know Gerard, and so yeah, Gerard was working for Brian when I originally met Gerard. Gerard is dating Brian's daughter, who works for my wife at the wellness center. So as with everything in Lane County, it's like 3 degrees of separation, and we're all somehow related. And it's not a family tree; it's a family stick. Okay, so
the band down by the river, right?
Friends and exactly friends and family, of everyone. So
I love
that's
it.
kind of the nuts and bolts of it. And then I'll let you tell the story of how we became engaged to work together for coaching, Gerard. Tell me how that came about and what started that with you.
Yeah, so one thing about me is I always like I say that I'm lazy, but I just like taking the easy way out, meaning I like to learn from other people that have done it, and just tell me the cheat codes. And if I had to pay them just a little money to get that, that for me is a great deal. So I was always like, I kind of want to coach, or I want somebody that can help guide me through it. I had a couple people in my life that were that, but no one that I could ever just call up or meet with and really answer specific questions. And so at the time, Millie, my girlfriend, she was working at the wellness center, and I would swing by in, just drop in, maybe say hi for like 5-10 minutes, maybe buy an energy drink, and then I'd bounce. Well, it just so happened it came up that one time I was there, my girlfriend mentioned that, oh yeah, by the way, Brent does coaching. I was like, huh, that's interesting. Like, oh, what? I didn't think too much about it, but it kind of got some wheels turning. And then April kind of reinforced that, hey, he does some coaching, and I thought, you know what? Brent's a really successful guy, and he does coaching. I should maybe see that maybe there's something there. And so I approached him about it. I asked him a couple questions. We hopped on a call. We met, and then from there, the rest is history. I was like, you know what? I really like how you're not there to babysit me. You're not there to hold me accountable. You're there to help me if I want help. Like you can only help me as much as I want to help myself. And really, as you guys kind of joke about on the podcast that your podcast about Therapy Thursdays, that's how I kind of view my coaching with Brent. It's kind of like therapy morning where I come, I dump all my problems, and Brent says, you know what, it's really not that bad. This is what you can do. And I'm like, got it. I run with it. So that's kind of the story.
So I want to, thank you for saying that, because I think that's super important. It triggered some stuff with me. So you're 20 years old. Is that right?
21.
21. Sorry. Gotta get that
Make
extra
sure you
year.
get the one.
The one, dude.
The one's very important.
Man, I remember when I was 21 and like, oh, it's 21. Anyway, so here you are starting your own business. A lot of guys your age are just punching a time clock, coming in and just, working for somebody, which is it's not a bad thing, but you really, you've taken your life to another level. People who have started business and entrepreneurs, I don't care if you're 20 years old, 19 years old, or 70 years old, know the grind that's in that. What are you seeing, like the guys that you hang out with right now? Do you feel like your connection is getting better, or do you feel like God is like, even though we were been close together, I'm here and you keep staying here? Do you feel that at all?
Good question. So, I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of friends
Okay.
that are around my age. I do have some acquaintances.
Sure.
I do have some people I can call, I can go hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
Ye I'll be honest, I don't hang around a lot of people. The people I hang around are usually a lot older. So, I would say there hasn't really there is now a noticeable gap between some of my friends, but it's really that we have that understanding. They have their goals and they're on their way to pursue those goals. And I have mine, I'm pursuing mine. And there's no like they want to tear me down or I think that they can do so much more. There's kind of this mutual understanding. So there isn't that much of a gap. And it's really just primarily because I don't hang around or I never hung around this kind of people that would want to pull you back. So that's kind of what I got for you.
Yeah, Brent, I hear us talking like 30 years ago, dude, when he just said that.
I know, right?
I don't have a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
I've got this stuff in my head that I want to do. So we can become these quiet giants, which is my term for you, Brent, for so many years.
But you used to call me the silent but deadly guy is what you used to say.
Silent but deadly guys. Always just, so what say you on that? Is this, it's so refreshing. Here we are. It's like we can kind of see this mirror image of ourselves back in our 20s and we're grinding and we're trying to find something else. It's like, okay, I've got a great job. Like for me, I had a great job at Costco at that time and you're grinding it out, but it's just not quite fitting at this time. It's like, there's something so much more that I want to accomplish. And you really don't lock into a lot of people. I mean, Gerard, Brent, and I could tell you right now, we could probably count our friends probably on one hand.
3.
Yeah. I mean, just guys that you're going to die for, right? We have a lot of acquaintances, which is a great thing. And that's important for business. But Brent, when you hear him say that, what are some of the things that you trigger for? What are some of the things that you're using what he just said to help your coaching with him?
So Gerard is an anomaly. He's 21. He doesn't drink. He doesn't party. He's not going out and carousing, like a lot of people do. I mean, I have staff. I have folks that I know that have kids his age, and they're not in the same boat of what he's trying to accomplish. They're typically checked out. They're in year 2 or 3 of college. to get a philosophy degree that they can't apply to anything or use. And if anything, they're getting, going to Arizona State University. No offense, Arizona State University graduates, but typically people that go there are going there for the sun and not to get a real education. And they're going there to party for 4 years. He's an anomaly, which intrigued me to want to coach him, because I see him exactly what he said, taking those cheat codes and growing faster and at a rate that is going to far surpass. When he's 52 like me, he's going to be a way better version of anything that I could have ever accomplished. And I'm excited to see that growth. I'm excited to see him push. Again, he's not doing the things that people normally do. So he's going to end up in a place where people normally don't end up, in a good way.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see that. I hope and pray that my son and my daughter can take just a little bit of what I'm teaching them and apply it like Gerard is applying it. Gerard comes from a very wholesome place where he's grown up, and you can talk about that a little bit if you like, Gerard. He's lived a different life, and he is old for his age. I felt old for my age when I was 21. At 21, I was working a full-time job for somebody else and had my own business as well. And so I was grinding on both sides of the fence. And so I understand what he's going through. I didn't have anybody like me to lean on or to bounce ideas off of. So I'm excited to see where he takes it.
Yeah. I think, that's a great point, Brent. I think that, just since we've gone through we're not episode number 78 now.
Yeah.
Which is insane to me.
It's crazy.
I still can't, every time I say a number, I can't believe we've done this many. But we go back and we look at, we didn't have anybody. I don't think that we were given let me just say this. I don't think there was that information that we could actually go to somebody that had the knowledge to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously with social media, with the world of business coaching and stuff like that, and now that have that, we were like, gosh darn, man, was it there at our fingertips and we just didn't see it back when we were that young, or we just didn't know how to ask for it? So yes, having Gerard be the anomaly, I absolutely 1000% agree with you about that. It's like, this guy saw an opportunity. His girlfriend saw an opportunity, obviously being around April, conversations with her, those different things to him. Like, this guy is, goodness, he's got this and he's got this and he's running this part and he's over here and he's doing this, and I kind of want to do what he's doing. Oh hell, I'll just ask for it. So how many of us saw that opportunity when we were younger and didn't do it, or didn't know how to ask? But here we got with Gerard, and he reaches out. He's like, what does it matter? I'm just going to go ask him. If he tells me no, then whatever, I'll go find somebody else. So was that, let me go back to this, because you said this earlier before we started recording, Gerard. Was that your mindset when you saw him? Were you looking at watching what he was doing, or you just take the wisdom from your girlfriend, if you may, to like, hey, I got to reach out to this guy and figure out what's in his head? What was in your mind when you reached out to Brent?
I would say it's a combination of things. So absolutely the wisdom of my girlfriend, Millie, she just put that little warm in my ear. Hold on. She put that little
The
voice
bug
in my head.
Yeah,
bug. That's it. The second thing was, I would drive in here, and I'll be honest, I see Brent's truck, and it's a very, very expensive, nice truck. And I thought, well, he is successful. He knows how to do business. So it would be stupid of me not to engage with him. If he's willing to engage with me, how can I not take the opportunity? Someone is willing to show me and help me. Why wouldn't you do that? So that was really what was going through my head. And I just thought the value discrepancy, how much value he provides me for versus how much I pay, I was like, it's not even there. I don't even think about it. I think he undercharges, to be honest, but don't tell Brent that. Oh, hi, Brent.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Don't tell him that. He's still not charging me yet. That's why I get to do these podcasts with him. I get free education. Don't tell him that either, Gerard. So he doesn't know that yet.
Gotcha.
But anyways, man, but let's go back to this. I want to stay with this mindset with you, Gerard. I think this is a big thing. And Brent, kind of fill in with where I'm at here. Again, Brent was talking about your upbringing. I don't know if you're a faith-based family or not. To me, that's Brent and I are faith-based on too. I find that very important with us. But was that part of your mindset? Is that part of your upbringing to like, was that encouraged by your parents as well? Obviously, we talked about your girlfriend just like planting that seed or planting that bug and to go talk to Brent. But was that cultivated through your upbringing with your parents as well? Was there a faith based in that? Help me with how you cultivated your mindset to this point.
So my upbringing, yes, we're very faith-based. I come from a large Catholic family, and I'm still a practicing Catholic.
Okay.
So faith is a really large part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were absolutely wonderful. I just want to put that out there for the record. They're absolutely wonderful. I couldn't have asked for better parents, and I love them very much. And really, they always, they always help. My upbringing was really just kind of finding what I was good at and really kind of encouraging that. My parents were very encouraging, and as like when it comes to like mindset and such, so I'm trying to see where I want to take this. So as my mother would say, I have my mother's drive and my dad's like text mark, because both my parents were Air Force Academy. Both of them. My mom went to Harvard. My dad went to MIT. So it's like, wow, these are my parents, but they're always like, you don't have to follow that. You have to do basically what God calls you to do. And so there's always that. There's never pressure. And so they were always encouraging when it comes to like finding the cheat codes or finding wisdom, taking wisdom from other people. They're always very they taught that into me. And I'm really grateful for that. And then when I engaged with Brent, then Brent helped change my mindset even more. And from there, I feel like it's kind of been a rocket. Can't complain. Does it kind of answer the question?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Did you go to college?
I had one term at our local community college during COVID, and it sucked.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. I mean, I think that a lot of us are finding out about that day, and I think Brent's kind of said the same thing, and we've stated it in the past, is that, listen, college is not meant for everybody. Some people have gone. My son is a very successful electrician. Never went to college. Became a journeyman and is now making more money than I'm making per hour, which is awesome, and that's what you really want to. Yeah. So that's. Brent, I'm firing questions in here, so again, jump in at any time in here. But I you went to Lane Community.
Yeah.
Is that what? Okay, yeah. Anyway, so I think that is awesome what you just said. Your parents went to the Air Force Academy and MIT or Harvard, excuse me,
and MIT,
Harvard and MIT. So very, very good schools when you look at them. And to have I think that is pretty cool that coming from that background, you're like, hey, you don't have to follow our footsteps. Because you typically don't get that in the world of parenting. You've got to go to college. This is going to help you become better, blah, blah, blah. Now, not downplaying college. I'm sure that there's some great things in there. Brent and I are starting to see a lot of this younger guys come out, and all of a sudden they're like, knocking it out of the park and doing some different things and skinning their knees and ruffling up their elbows and getting beat up and whatever the part, but they're really learning life. And and my question to you, Gerard, again, is that kind of what you're feeling right now? Is like, God, I could have gone to college and I could have learned something like this, but right now I feel like I'm really in the mix of it. I will say this to help, maybe this will help you out. I went to a couple of years at the University of Oregon, but I always said I started at the University of Oregon, but I graduated from the University of Costco because I left school to do a family, and and I tell you, the stuff that I learned from there is, that helped build the foundation to get to this point of where we are. And a lot of trial and error, a lot of dark days, a lot of, licking the gutter, a lot of living in, 100 square foot boxes to kind of get to this point. Is that kind of what you're feeling right now? Or have you experienced it at all? Do you feel like you're missing out on anything from not going to college?
So a little bit of context. All throughout high school, I was preparing for college. I was taking all these CLEP tests, all these. I was taking all the AP tests. I was I was set to graduate from college in about I think like 3 years. So I had all like the basics out of the way. And originally, I was wanting to go to college because I wanted to pursue finance and maybe go into like investment banking or something, like some ambitious dream. Um, and um, what I think is, unless you're going to college for a specific skill to learn, or any school to learn something, it's a waste of time and money. And um, one of the things is like, well, if I took, instead of taking 4 years investing, let's say 100 grand into it, and maybe coming out with a degree, what if I take that 100 grand, invest in myself and learning through alternative schooling or whatever? How far will I be? Will I be just a guy with a basic finance degree with 50K in debt, or will I'm going to be somebody who is running a business and is learning everything about business, payroll, taxes, marketing, advertising? It's kind of crazy because I have one of my employees. He's a lot like me. He's 20. He was going to, I think, Arizona State. It's kind of funny. And he dropped out because he's like, I'm not learning anything. And he told me the other day, he was telling one of my clients the other day, he's like, yeah, I've been working with Gerard. And he said, I learned more about business since working with him than I ever did at college.
Whoa.
That's and awesome.
So. Did you hear that, Brent?
Yeah. That makes
me. A 21-year-old is mentoring a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
And a 20-year-old just told a 21-year-old, I've learned more from him than I have in my years at school.
Yep. That's truly the pulling somebody up to the top. When you get to the top, you pull them up. Even if the top isn't the top of where you think you're at, the top is maybe just one step above where they're at, right?
Right. Here's the thing, because obviously we're going to tag you in this, and we really want you to get this episode out to your friends and stuff like that, or even we understand. But
I'm a little nervous for that. I don't know why.
Yeah, but look at it this way, because I have a 28-year-old that works for me. He's cutting his teeth, has been in the service industry forever, really wanted to pursue real estate, and here we are. And now he's telling me stuff, and I think this is really important for you, and I hope that you take this. And I feel like we've had this conversation with somebody else, Brent, and I can't remember. You're going to help me out. Again, old guy still rock, brain fades a little bit. I hope what you just said resonates with you in a couple days or weeks or months or maybe a year, that you are the mentor at 21. And let that be a drive for you. Let that be a push for you, because I'm sure that you've experienced this already, but I'm sure there's been some dark days in starting your business, and there's going to be many more. But I just think that is, my son's kind of doing the same thing, hiring employees, and he's got a couple guys that are older than him, and here's these young guys mentoring, and we just don't think that young guys can mentor. And Brent, you and I have talked about this so much. It really doesn't matter on the age anymore.
Yeah.
It matters on what God has instilled in you and how he wants his light to shine through different people to become leaders. And know this, Gerard, there is a lot of room at the top for a lot of leaders. So, but I'm going to get off my pedestal for that. Brent, fill in for where I may have left off on that. I just,
yeah. So
Gerard, that just jacks me up, man, that he said that.
That was a total golden nugget right there in the whole place. So, we talked about this morning, Gerard and I did in our coaching session, where, your worst day that you're sitting in your truck and you put your head in your hands and you feel like it's never going to get any better, those are the days that you need to realize that you're successful, truly successful, because those are the biggest opportunities to learn and grow and to take stock in those. And the reason why your employee is looking at you as a mentor now, Gerard, is because of the things that we talk about in the coaching where and I'm segueing into what you wanted to talk about. You said you wanted to talk about mindset. So we'll talk about that soon and you can go into that about your change of mindset. But he's seeing a change in your mindset and the way that you're delivering. You said it this morning, 6 months ago, something bad would have happened, like it happened last week, and you would have melted down into a puddle and been mad and yelling and screaming and cussing and hollering or whatever your reaction is, and you dealt with it as a professional. And he sees that and he's like, I want to be more like that. I don't want to pander to my emotions. I don't want to pander to my reactions. I want to be better at everything that I do. So let's go into that. What say you about mindset? You said you wanted to talk about that. Give us some feedback on your mindset and your shift.
Yes. So I'll be honest. So when I first initially started engaged with you in coaching, I thought the coaching was going to be a lot about tactics, business tactics. Oh, this is what you can do here, cut corners here, whatever, and get ahead or whatever. I have now learned that I would say the biggest mover, the thing that moves the needle the most is your mindset. If you don't have if you don't look at just honestly, if you don't look at life or just any situation with the correct lens, you're gonna fail. You're gonna crumble. And of course you have to build yourself up to that. But I would say like stress management, just looking at opportunities different, taking risks. If you don't have the proper mindset, you're not gonna be able to handle any of that. And so I would say really just like the biggest thing that Brent has shown and taught me is one is like stress management, having a completely different way of like when you wake up in the morning and just like starting the day and being like, you know what, I'm gonna conquer today. I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna get some work done, I'm gonna go work out, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna do my IAMs, I'm going to take my proper supplements so that I have the energy, taking care of myself. And then just you move with a purpose. Because I feel like so many people, as I was talking to Millie about this, is that a lot of people, they just let life move them around. You just kind of go back and forth. Oh, something bad happens. Oh, it ruined my day. Oh, this thing happened. Now my day's great. And one thing Brent taught me a lot is celebrate your wins and your losses for 5 seconds and move on. That's a great tip for anybody is that. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I got for that. Is this mindset's everything. Sure, dial in the tactics. If you have a great mindset, it ain't gonna help you though if you are just super inefficient at what you're doing or stuff like that. But I would say mindset is overall is the driver for success.
Did you hear him say that, Blair?
Yeah, dude.
Celebrate your losses too.
Yeah, man. You guys, for you younger guys, even for you older guys, go back and rewind 2 minutes and really listen to that because there's just so many different factors. I'm talking about physical care, talking about mental care, just talking, mindset is just so much more, your nutrition. It just goes on and on and on. So just so many great things in this, gosh, we've been on here for about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than that, but you guys just really get dialed into it. It's even though this 21-year-old is speaking right now, I don't care if you're 75 years old. There's a lot of great things in there. You may be stuck right now, but when you were 21, it's the same mindset that he has now. Maybe that reignites your fire to get back to it. To your 30-year-olds or your 20-year-olds, or you guys are just starting business or thinking it doesn't matter. A lot of wisdom in that. And here's this guy that has sacrificed a lot of his time to the only way that I can get better. I can't live in the silo, which Brett and I have talked about a lot of time is I have to reach out. I have to find different connections to help me grow. because if I'm by myself, I'm not going to grow. And now he's taking that wisdom that has ingrained into him from his parents, very good schools, from the life lessons and business lessons he's learned in his job, personal relationships from those. And now he's in coaching. So he's just getting inundated. It's like this sponge. And now he's slowly wringing the sponge out of wisdom to other people.
Very slowly. Very slowly.
But you're doing it. And that's the point. You're freaking doing it. You're not sitting around like I'm holding this in by myself. I'm now taking what has been given to me and give back. And that is one thing that Brett and I have really beat up over 77 episodes is we can't do this by ourselves. And the more that you hold in or the more that you don't pursue is the faster you will die. And it's taken us 30, we're learning it more every day. Trust me, this is not like we have it figured out. Brett and I will tell you that we suck more than we win. And so I just so awesome to hear this. Now I'm jacked up and I didn't want to work today. So now I'm going to work today.
Well, you saw what
you, don't worry.
You saw what I posted. Separation season came early this year for some reason.
Yeah, God.
Right? Everybody wants to check out. Everybody thinks that it's a Thanksgiving week. I don't have to work. I don't have to all these things. I will tell you, Gerard, that you're an inspiration to me because I'm just a 21-year-old stuck in a 52-year-old body. And it lights me up. And I told you this morning. I'm grateful to be able to coach you and learn from you as well. The things that I see you apply help me to stay focused and energized. It's not just the learning. You know, I talked to you about this morning. I have a friend of mine that's all he does is learn. He goes to every conference, he reads every book, he watches every podcast, he does all the things. The only thing he doesn't do is apply all the things that he learns. You're taking everything that you are learning, not just from me, but life lessons, other businesses that you go to, and you're applying them daily. And do they win every time? No. Do they
don't.
Do they win more consistently than they lose though?
Yes.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot. You said you were a little bit nervous here, but I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit. Talk to us about your mirror exercise. Because I told him to do this mirror exercise and he came back to me. And what was your response?
Well, nothing happened. I set a timer for 3 minutes, or 2 or 3, I don't know I forgot how long it was. And I stared at myself and nothing, you're saying like your biggest demons are what are going to come out. And I guess maybe I just don't have any demons or something because I was just staring, I was like, cool. I need to shave, but yeah, cool. There wasn't any stuff that there wasn't a lot of stuff, I guess you'd say. Maybe just because I haven't lived life a lot or haven't been through a lot yet. But
no, and I'll tell you what the magic, and I may not have told you this yet, and you may not have gleaned it. The reason why you didn't have stuff to work through is because you're working through stuff as it comes up. You're not holding it in. You're not dwelling on it. You're not focusing on it to the point that it debilitates you. So you don't have any debilitation when you're staring in the mirror. You're dealing with it faster and more appropriately and in a more healthy way than most people can even imagine dealing with it. A lot of it comes from your upbringing. A lot of it comes from how you process things. You process things differently, you have a different mindset. And then the coaching has definitely helped you to change that mindset per your words. And you don't have the demons that a lot of us have to deal with because you're not holding it in. You're reaching out, you're asking for help, you're not being a silo, and you're processing it at a rate of speed that is exponentially greater every time you are challenged. And that's where the magic's going to happen. Keep doing what you're doing. Do the mirror exercise every once in a while and stay right with that, because that is going to be your measurement. Now, we talk about using an OGSM process or using a blueprinting process, right? This is your measurement of that blueprinting process. if you don't have any demons that come out in the mirror exercise, then you're processing your demons as they show up, and keep doing that. And that's where the magic happens.
Oh, Gerard,
That makes a lot of sense.
yeah, and then
That would explain a lot.
So you know what? If you keep coming in on this, you keep coming in OGSR, you're gonna have to stop paying Brent.
Hey, I should just really. I'm trying to get my doc up and just start taking some notes.
There you go. Let's just do all
podcast.
that stuff. But I think that's a big thing too. Is obviously we're going to have you back, and we're not done talking here. But I think Brent said a lot of great things in there. You're processing those fast enough too, but also is maybe taking some of this stuff and just what triggered when Brent was talking about this, when you're looking in the mirror, is what was that one interaction that you had with your clients today, and how do I better talk through that? And it may not be a demon. It may be like, okay, now I'm going to kind of coach myself a little bit. Like, I should have said this, or I should have done this, or look at that process. And here's a big thing is that we're talking a lot about business today and mindset, but it may be relational with your girlfriend, right? I think that's a big thing. And I don't know how long you've been dating. That's irrelevant at the end of the day, but how am I, Millie? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Millie. Okay. So like, hey, we had this interaction with Millie. Maybe I could have handled this a little bit better. And maybe that's your demon. I know that we're focusing, and that's where your mindset is right now, Gerard. I get it. Totally get it. Because we get locked into business. We want to become better. But remember, relationships are going to be a part of that business. And so when you're looking at that may be a demon, small or big, whatever it may be, a disagreement or miscommunication, whatever that is how are you going to work through that with Millie? And looking in the mirror is going to help you do that.
So that's the cool part is we talk about this in the coaching session. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gerard, but we talk about all the things that you just talked about, Blair, but he's processing them at such an exponential rate.
It's crazy.
He doesn't allow anything to sit on his plate for very long before he deals with it.
Mm.
And that is the thing I've learned from him is to really, we talk about money loves speed, right? And life loves speed, and relationships love speed. It's all about the application and the action thereof. And that is the one thing that's a separator for Gerard in a lot of people, not only his age, but even up into our age, is action is creating opportunities. And he is exponentially acting upon those issues faster than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's mind blowing to me go ahead, Gerard. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just want to add a little bit onto that, Brent. One thing I hear a lot is when people are like, "Oh, I don't have any opportunities" or stuff like that. Something I tell myself to kind of console myself, but what I'll tell others is if you're out there putting in the work, or you're out there trying to make something happen, opportunities will come. Like the whole how I got into this business, I can trace it back to one thing that happened. It was a relationship with another business here in town that we did martial arts together, and he just invited me to some training. From that training, all this I can kind of like string it. Oh, this opportunity happened from there. So just to piggyback on that is really just as long as you're out there, opportunities will come and you will see them. Just be sure and act on them. Be sure to just take advantage. It might be nothing, but it could be something.
I know, right? The wisdom. That's why I wanted to have him on, is the wisdom in this guy.
This dude.
Right?
So good. It's just so good. Just inundated. I'm listening to him speak, and it's just so much hope has just like overflown in my heart, my soul when I hear you speak, Gerard. It's just like we see so much stuff of this just fake get rich ish, that we see through these YouTube or influencers, and it's just a bunch of BS. Here's this kid that we have on this show, just grinding it out at 21 years old, processing things faster than I could. I'm jealous of the knowledge that you have at 21 and seeing you do different things. But man, oh man, you guys who watch this show is really take what he's got in there, because it's all in us, and it may have a lampshade, or it may have a blanket over the top of wisdom that's residing in all of us. And maybe what Gerard said today, maybe that kind of lifts that up, or shines some light on some stuff, because holy Moses, there's some good things in there, man. Dude, I don't know you very well. Obviously, I've known you for about 46 minutes. I'm just proud of you, dude. I'm just super stoked for you. And I know that you've had a lot of influences from your mom and dad. I think I keep going back to the way that you process. That's what's triggered in my mind. And I'm sure people will ask me about this, later, because Brent and I always get comments, and you may get comments after this as well, outside of stuff. But I was raised as just like, let's sweep it underneath the rug, sweep it underneath the rug, sweep it underneath the rug, and just, whatever. It's like, move on. You're actually processing it. And that's what has been like the detriment to me in my life, is that I never processed stuff. And now it's like, at 50, almost 56 years old, you're learning to process on the fly. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. So that is such a big golden nugget for me. It's like, just process it right now. As I don't want to swear, as bad as it is, just process it and just be done with it, instead of like, oh, I'll get to it later. So good on you for that.
One thing I want to say, though, when it comes to like processing, is yes, process it, but be sure. I sometimes process things too fast, and I come to the wrong conclusion. So I process it, but also have time for self-reflection. And the reason why I say this is because with Millie and I, sometimes something happens, and I bring it up, and I'm just like, I'm going. This is what happened, and I processed it, but as then we start talking about it, I realize, oh, I processed this too fast. I didn't reflect enough. And where I thought maybe she had a problem, or she had an issue or something, I'm actually the issue in this. I'm the asshole in this conversation. It's not her, it's me. And then I just feel horrible. And I'm like, all right, you have to make sure and don't go too fast. You have to slow down, have time for reflection. I would say that's one that it can be very positive, but it can also hold you back from never saying anything, because sometimes I do that too. I do keep some things in, and then someone like comes out and she's like, "Where did this come from?" I'm like, I don't know. So
that's awesome.
I would say, coupled with fast processing, though, do set time aside for ample reflection, or else you might process too fast and come to the wrong conclusion.
What say you on that, Brent?
I'm excited to hear that, because that is what we've been coaching on, is being present in the moment while still processing, and then setting the tone if you in fact need to sit in it and reflect. And so at 21, I was a fire and forget, hammer down, don't look back. And I didn't sit in things long enough sometimes. And so that's the one thing that him and I have talked about, is make sure that you sit in it, good and bad. So like he said, celebrate your wins and celebrate your losses. Sit in both for an ample amount of time until you feel like you're ready to move on. And then sometimes when you are ready to move on, others aren't ready to move on, is what I heard you say. And so, really reflect on and get feedback from the people that you're interacting with, is what I'm hearing Gerard say. He formulates things. He takes the things that I teach him and that he learns in life, and learns from his parents, and learns from other business owners and people that he interacts with. And then he puts his own spin on it. So it's real easy for us to be regurgitative learners. He's not. He's formulating his own thoughts and applying it in a way that makes sense for him. And so it might not make sense for you, but it makes sense for Gerard. And I'm excited to see that. I'm proud. Like Blair, I mean, this is exciting for our society, and this is exciting for our future. Yeah. And that's what I'm stoked about. Yeah. And this is why I wanted to have you on.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And I'm just going to fair warning, Gerard, and this happened to Brent, happens to me. Millie's going to like, where's where did you come up with that stuff? And you said this. Why are you not? You said this. Why are you not doing this? And you're like, oh
Yep.
man, I get that every week.
Yeah.
Oh, you're really good on the
I feel-
microphone. You come home and you can't do this. It's not that bad. I'm just saying it's an accountability factor that's coming. Just fair warning on it, and it's a good accountability because you're right. It calls you. It's Millie is going to be your mirror in some ways, which is good to have. It's a mirror that's going to talk back to you and give you constructive criticism. And for us alpha males or as A-type males, which you are, obviously being an entrepreneur that you are, sometimes hearing that criticism outside of coaching is a little bit hard to take.
Tough.
I'm telling you, I suck at this. So Chrissy's going to see this like, yeah, you suck at this. Take it as constructive criticism. Like if Chrissy and Brent said the same thing, I'm like, yeah, Brent, that's a good idea. And I look at Chrissy like, it's smart. Just take it. So that's me being transparent and lifting up and looking behind the curtain. But all right, man. Brent, we have given April her 45 minutes. We've given Gerard his 45 minutes. But Gerard, do you have any final thoughts, brother?
I would say I would really just encourage, I would say take the cheat codes. Find somebody who is ahead of you and find other way to provide value to them so they want to provide value back. But really, if someone's willing to help you, take the opportunity, let them help you so that you don't have to go through the same struggles as they went through. Which, you should struggle because that's what builds character, and you will go through those no matter what. But sometimes you don't need to get your heart broken or bankrupt your business to learn you don't have to do that to learn the lesson. So that's what I would say. Just really take the opportunity to, if someone wants to help you, let them help you and take that opportunity.
And again, help us out. I know we said it at the beginning, but the name of your businesses again are?
It is Mirror Exteriors DBA Soft Wash Pros.
Okay, cool. And how many employees do you have?
I have one full-time. I'm bringing on a part-time, and we're trying to bring on another an estimator.
Okay, perfect. And located, how far do you go out? So obviously in Eugene area, Eugene Springfield? Do you go out farther than that?
If you take a pin, you drop it in the middle of Eugene. We just sort of a service, like a 25-mile radius. We go all down to Cottage Grove, Crestwell. We'll go up to Junction City, South Eugene, all the way East Springfield. We kind of service the whole area as long as it's within 30 to 40 minutes.
All right. Okay, Eugene peeps, did you hear that? Cottage Grove peeps, did you hear that?
Wow.
Check this guy out.
And on top of it, he's doing Christmas light installation and takedown currently through December 10th or 15th. We talked about today, right? So if you want Christmas lights hung on your house and you don't want to have to do it yourself and fall off the ladder like Chevy Chase, call Gerard.
So we're gonna pimp this guy out.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna pimp Gerard out today because he had the kahunas to come on here. It is not an easy thing to put your face in front of the camera and talk about your life to people that you can't see.
It's even weirder when people. I don't know how to take compliments, by the way, so it's really weird.
Welcome to the club, dude.
Awkward that. So, but I appreciate it.
Hey, so I'm going to say that you suck. Does that make you feel better?
Great. Sometimes Brent tells me that. Sometimes our coaching calls, he'll just say something. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I move on.
Keep that humility in your heart, dude. You're going to be fine. But anyways, man, check this guy out. If you're in the Eugene Springfield area, even down to Cottage Grove, just look him up. Give him an opportunity. Kid's at 21 years old. He's making his path. Not only for himself, but he's got other people that he's actually building a path for as well. So strongly encourage you to, use small business, man, and give this guy a shot. Brent, any final words for you, my dude?
As always, just go make a damn difference. That's it.
All right, my guys. Tomorrow, we're going to get this out today. So tomorrow is going to be Thanksgiving. Brent and I are super grateful, most of all thankful for you guys sticking with us, for all the subscribers we have, for all the people that watch our episodes, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Completely grateful. We would have not made 78 episodes Are we Joe Roganish? Not yet. We're going to get there. But thank you for all your support. Have a great Thanksgiving. Find something that you're thankful for and share that with your family today. Share that with a colleague. Share it with a spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever that may be. But anyways, until we see each other next week, stay safe. And most of all, God bless, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving. Take care.